shopping for my order. How exciting. I've never
What's
done
going on,
this
everyone?
before.
John and Audrey here, back again with another video. And I literally tried to time it so, like, but Audrey had to comment about her Instacart shopping.
Because I'm really excited because I've never done this before. So I feel very
They're gonna come like in the middle of this top 10 list, Audrey.
I know, fuck. Well, I put it for them to order it within 5 hours.
Oh, okay. So like they have time.
Yeah, but I just got an update and it said that someone's already shopping for my order. So I'm like, fuck, that means that they're gonna come like right now. So if I make a DoorDash, you guys know.
I'll talk about my honorable mentions because for those of you who don't know, I mean, if you can't tell by the title of the video, me and Audrey are gonna talk about our personal top 10 films from A24. So that includes like movies that were like distributed by them and also made by them. So
you always have to
clear up any confusion.
You always have to one up me because I didn't go that far. I just was like,
we weren't really like clear. We just, hey, let's just do this video Wednesday. Cool, let's go.
I stuck to the bare minimum. I was like, you wanted a list from me, so I gave you my list.
Yeah, because Audrey's very, I don't want to say picky, but like your lists aren't your favorite. That's all we'll say.
I hate it. Yeah, I hate choosing because that's like choosing between kids. Like, which one's your favorite kid?
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it. I hate it.
Especially when it comes down to A24, because it's like, damn, like they're all my favorite kids.
Yeah, because I think it's safe to say that A24 has probably made up a big batch of some of our favorite movies in the past couple of years. So you're kind of like, well, what the fuck? Like, they're all my favorites. But
yeah,
John likes to make me suffer.
I like to, make fun of Audrey and everything. But also, again, like I said, this is going to be like our personal list. So like, I know people are gonna like be up in arms. I think Audrey said it with your list, but I say it with my list. My list, I feel like, is gonna take a lot of people off, and I'm not ready for it. But hey, look, it's our personal. Everybody has their own like taste. Everybody, film is subjective. So, but that's like the fun part of having this conversation. So, the last video got a lot of views, so I'm pretty excited. The last one I did was like in 2017, like when we first started. And like I was telling Audrey, I felt kind of embarrassed watching it now because I was like, hey guys, this is my list of 13 films that I've seen out of like their 90 something that they have. Like, and I made a top 10 list out of 13 movies they've seen. It's like not that very,
You didn't have that much leeway.
To work off, so I was like, what the heck? But now I've seen a total of 40 apparently.
So I counted and I've seen 39, I think. Almost
really?
40.
I thought you said last night you're like, oh yeah, you've seen way more than me. Like, just
well, because I thought so. Because 42 sounded like a lot, but then when I actually went back and counted them, I was like, oh shit, I've seen a good amount.
Yeah, so. See, I thought it was 42, but then I looked at my list and I was like, what the heck? I thought other movies were like A24, but so you said you don't have honorable mentions, right?
No.
So I guess how we're gonna do this is, I guess I'll start off with my honorable mentions, just kind of like just flying by them. You guys are probably gonna be like, some of you guys are probably gonna be shocked.
But what if your honorable mention, like one of your honorable mentions, is like my number one?
Oh damn, that's gonna be like this one. I'm just gonna say them. Like, I'm not gonna like talk about them, like in depth a little bit. I'm just gonna quickly say them. So if it is, then I mean,
I'm just gonna try and keep a straight face. I'm gonna be like,
yeah. We're gonna see Audrey's acting job. But and then after it's gonna be, what would you say it was gonna be by threes, right? We agreed on like you're gonna do your like 10 through 9,
10 through 8, 10 through 8.
I'm gonna do my 10 through 8. So you're going first then.
After you do your honorable mentions.
Yeah, because I'm starting off with my honorable mentions. So, damn, let's get right to it. So it won't get too long. And some of these were on my list too last, like literally on my top 10. So it's kind of like, damn, like they became honorable mentions now. So starting off, it's Lock. Wait, no way. The End of the Tour, Room, It Comes at Night, The Florida Project, 8th Grade, Climax, Under the Silver Lake, Midsomar, and The Farewell.
Wait, these are your honorable mentions?
Yeah.
Wow.
And now that I said it, like the last two, I'm just like, because I'm looking at, like, I want to show them real quick how I really went all off, but now, like I just said some of those movies, I'm just like, damn, like that could be someone's top 10. And I'm like
That's
bummed
my top
out.
10.
I'm bummed out about like I feel like they're just on my honorable mentions.
That's my top 10, no lie.
So again, real quick, Lock, The End of the Tour, Room, It Comes at Night, The Florida Project, Eighth Grade, Climax, Under the Silver Lake, Midsummer, and The Farewell.
Can I just say something really quick?
Yeah. I'm like
he
bummed.
said, he said, damn. Well, wait, that doesn't make sense to me. So then are you not, do you feel like shouldn't you be like over the moon over your top 10? Because that means that your top 10 are like movies you really, really, really like.
Yeah, like a lot of these are personal. Like that's what like you're gonna be like, man, like really this one over all like literally those honorable mentions. But I mean, that's for me like it's our personal favorites, you know, like for whatever reason, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I did also try to like just like rate them over like film quality overall. So there's gonna be some of those too, like, oh, okay, well, I agree with you, like it's like a near perfect film or something, you know. So
yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
those 10 for me are like my personal favorite, like ones that I want to like revisit that I haven't or that I have revisited throughout, you know, their release and stuff. So
I'm a little bit shook, not gonna lie. I'm like, damn.
I know.
Well, that's the end of this video.
She said, well, later guys. John just said my
that was the whole podcast. John just gave away my whole list. Damn.
My bad, Audrey.
Now I feel kind of like now I'm overthinking it because I'm like, well, fuck, like really? But whatever, you're right. It's your list, so I mean,
I feel like you think less of me now.
No. If anything, I'm just kind of like,
this is gonna be my last video with John, guys.
However, I do understand because you've seen movies recently that I haven't seen, so I can totally understand why those would be higher up on your list. You know what I mean? And I know you were a big fan of some movies that I didn't like, so makes sense. But all right then. Well, there you go. Those were his honorable mentions. Are you all surprised? Are you shocked? Are you?
Yeah, let us know in the comment section down below if I'm an idiot or not.
Are you flabbergasted, or do you agree with John?
You're probably like, I'm not being pretentious. Like, I feel like that's what it kind of comes out to. Like, damn, this guy. Like,
no, yeah, I mean that's great. Like, I think we shouldn't be pretentious, and we should just go off on what we like. So that's good. But
starting off with Audrey's list, number 10.
Damn, now I don't want to say it.
Damn.
All right, whatever. Fuck it. We're gonna do it. So for my number 10, I had one little movie called The End of the Tour, which you mentioned in your honorable mentions.
I know. I knew for sure that was going to be on your list.
That's like one of my favorite movies, I think. And it was really hard to put it at number 10 because, you know. But I love that movie, and even rewatching it because I rewatched it recently, and I'm like, damn, that's such a good movie, such a heartfelt movie. Yeah, it's so like, it's just so sad. You know, the story of David Foster Wallace. He was such a eccentric dude, and I thought his performance was great. The actor,
Jason Segel.
Yeah, he did an amazing.
Even Eisenberg.
Huh?
Even Eisenberg, because like, that's what I said in my because it's funny because that movie was my number 3 in my top 10, like, you know, but now it's just honorable mention.
Damn.
But that's what I said. I feel like they did an incredible job because like that movie is basically just them talking, you know, for like, a lot of the movie, and like for that to carry the film and to like keep you invested, at least for us, is like says something about their performances and their chemistry and the direction.
Yeah. I think their like dialogue was really good, and the banter between them was really entertaining. But yeah, they both did really good jobs. I think they carried that film extremely well. And I think that's why it definitely stayed on my list, because it was one of those that I feel like it's one of their older movies.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see where you'd be like, meh. But for me, it definitely deserves to stay on my list just because I really, really love it. It's a great film.
Yeah. No
Um,
complaints. I'm not gonna argue with that. You should
but
argue with me, but okay,
say
go.
that to your honorable mentions.
I know.
Like, what the fuck? I'm just
Let me
kidding.
make some last minute adjustments, Audrey. Not
Just kidding. No, it's all good. But yeah, so going on to my number 9, I have Green Room. What?
Let me see. Hold on. No, it's because where
Is
is
that on
Green
your
Room?
list?
Okay, it was on my top 10. It was number 4 actually on my previous list.
But
It's
now it's nowhere.
no.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it's like it's a lot has changed, and that's what's like pretty like interesting.
Yeah.
But I
Well, that
mean,
makes
it
sense.
was my number 4 before. Like I really enjoyed that movie. I really loved it too.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And I think the reason why also I decided to keep it on my list was because I was going back and forth between that one and another movie. But the reason why I stuck to Green Room was just because it felt like such a breath of fresh air when I first watched it.
Yeah,
Because I hadn't really watched anything like it in a while. And I loved the premise of it. I loved the whole idea behind it. It was super cool. And
yeah,
it also had really good performances. So that's why it stuck in my list because I was like, no, I think that movie definitely was something like it made an impact on me when I watched it the first time around.
R.I.P. Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, R.I.P. The reason I laugh is because didn't we just say that last
Yeah,
podcast?
I think so. We were talking about because he was in Thoroughbreds as well.
Oh yeah. So that was like one of his like more also like one of his last movies that he was in.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's the one where I was like, you know what, like I liked him before, like in the other movies and stuff. Like he always stood out to me. But after that one was like, okay, cool. Like I hope he gets more like starring roles,
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
he did like have a few movies after that, but then obviously, he fortunately passed away.
Yeah. He didn't have the opportunity to make more films, which is really sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I have to say about Green Room. Number 8. This one
Not
this one might be a little bit surprising for you, I feel, because
one
it's
of my
also
favorites.
no, it's also like one of their older movies. I feel like a lot of these are actually older, so
He stuck to the OGs somewhat.
the tried and trues. Well, just because, like I said, I haven't had the chance to see some of their more recent ones. Not all of
Yeah.
them, at least. But anyways, so yeah, for number 8, I have A Ghost Story. Not on
Um.
the list at all.
Wait. Hold on. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about that one a little bit later.
All right, cool. So yeah, that's my number 8, and
So
yeah.
so recapping, that was for Audrey. Number 10 was The End of the Tour. Number 9 was Green Room, and number 8 was A Ghost Story. But with
Mhm.
that, we're going to be talking about it when we get to it on my list, because it is on my list. And I also have another list, Audrey.
I'm surprised. You have another list? What do you mean
I
you have
have
another
a
list?
list of movies I want to see from A24 that I haven't.
Wow.
So
So
she
you
said,
just sprung this on me now?
it's just like, I mean, like it's there, so I feel like I should kind of like say it because, but then again, like there's other movies that are not on that list that I have seen, but they're just not like on honorable mentions or anything. So it'll be too, I don't know, too weird.
Because I was about to say, I was like, well, I haven't seen quite a bit, so my list would have been pretty substantial.
Yeah, it's not like all of them, just movies for me. Like I'm like, oh, you know what? Out of the ones I haven't seen, I really really want to see those.
Mhm.
But we'll get to my list. So starting off with number 10, is Hereditary by Ari Aster, I think, right? Yeah, Ari Aster, yeah. Hereditary. So is that one on your list?
It is.
Okay, so we'll talk about it later, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I kind of knew that one was on your list too. Like I was like, you know what? Let me see where Audrey has it. So
I'm a little bit shocked at the placement, but all
at
right.
number 10, I know. I'm telling you, my list is gonna be kind of like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? Because number 9 is The Witch.
All right. Well, you better save that for a later time.
When we get to yours, okay.
Yeah.
And then okay, so this one is not gonna be on your list. And for some people, it's gonna be kind of like a shocker because I'm gonna say this, it was my favorite film of last year, but thinking about it now, it kind of jumped down, and I need to watch it again.
Mhm.
But it's just 2019 was such a great year for movies, and my top 5 was so hard to do, even my top 10, let alone. So it moved down. It did move down on my favorite films of last year, but on this list it comes in at number 8, and that is Waves, which you haven't seen, right?
I have not, which is I had a feeling. I was like, I honestly thought that was gonna be like your number one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really love that movie. It was my number 1 for a long time from last year. But thinking about just like the other films again, like on that list, and like I need to watch it again. It moved down, so that's all right, cool. Like, and then there's other just A24 films that were like, for me are better still to this day. But it was directed by Trey Edward Schultz, who he did It Comes at Night. So it's a very kind of a different movie for him, because he did before that he did Krisha, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another movie I had to see by A24 too. But yeah, Waves for me, just kind of again the performances. What's it? I'm forgetting his name right now. Calvin Harrison Jr., Lucas Hedges, Taylor Russell, Alex Demi. Just I feel like we're star-studded. It was a star-studded cast. Oh, also Sterling K. Brown. And for me, I really liked it because it wasn't too personal for me, but like a lot of the themes, I guess, were. But it wasn't like, I don't know. It was not like, oh, hey, like something like this exactly happened to me,
But you could relate to it.
Yeah, I can relate to it a lot, and also just like I thought it was just beautifully shot. Just a lot of the direction that was used, and just what it was trying to say to, about kind of an overbearing dad, and like how that can be, and also like for them to be like African American too, like how I had something to say about that too. And just overall, like what I had to say about love. And also I love the fact that it kind of switches to like, it's kind of like 2 movies in one. It like switches like right in the middle, like after it's kind of like the climax, and then kind of just switches like characters. And I thought that was really cool and interesting too. But yeah, that was my number 8.
Interesting.
Wait.
I definitely want to watch that one. It's on my watch list for sure. I actually wish that I had watched it before we made this one. Just because I've heard good things about it, but I've also heard not so good things about it. So I just want to watch it to make up my own mind,
I feel like I don't know. I want you to watch it too. I want to know your reaction, because at first I was like, I feel like you won't like it, but then I'm like, you know what? She might like it. So
sorry. Sorry. He brought me a Gatorade. Isn't that sweet? Yes. Best boyfriend of the year. Just kidding. But yeah.
She's just kidding.
No, I know. But so anyways, yeah, definitely that's on my movie that I want to watch. And I am surprised that it's not higher up on your list, but I mean, it's still pretty good. It's still number 8, so
still number 8. And real quick, my top 10 through 9 was number 10 Hereditary, which we're going to talk about later. The Witch at number 9, which we're going to talk about later, and then also and number 8 is Waves.
Yeah, so, I think you did that shit on purpose, because you knew you're like, I'm gonna just mess her up, and I'm gonna try and.
No, I'm telling you, like it hurts me to put those at like 10 and 9.
It almost sounds so good. Weird.
Yeah, right. It's like.
All right, well then, moving along to my number 7, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 7. Number 7 through 5.
So 7, you actually already touched upon.
My honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like so sad about that.
The Florida Project.
No, but that'll come later. Number 7 is Climax.
Okay, see that's the one that wasn't made by them, but that's one of them that was just distributed by them in the USA.
I thought they did.
Nah, it was a different company. It was just distributed, like not even worldwide, just in the USA, which is weird. Like,
Well, fuck. All right. I didn't know that. I honestly thought that they were the ones that came up with it. But anyways, so Climax by Gaspar Noir. I can't pronounce it.
I just say Noir.
I thought it was Gaspar Noé. Anyways.
Probably.
The reason I love this movie and it made it on my list was just because also, once again, it left me shook when I was in the theater. I was like, what the fuck did I do?
I'm so glad you saw it in the theater.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm really happy that I also went into it really, really blind, because
Yeah.
I just remember hearing
too.
about it, and like someone said, "Oh, it's about like a sex cult," and I was like, "Oh, cool." So then I just went and watched it, and I was like, "I don't
Okay,
get
cool. So cool.
I was like, all right, cool. But I had no idea. Like, I didn't even watch a trailer, anything,
Yeah.
into it completely blind. And then when I watched it, I was like, dude, this shit's fucking nuts. It was just one of those movies that makes you feel like you're on fucking
LSD.
Molly or something. Yeah, you're just like having a great time.
Like, I don't need to do LSD now. I just watch Climax. That's it. Like, you don't need to do it.
And it was so well done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it could have gone in a more
Horror-ish way,
cheesy.
traditional way, right?
No,
Like,
I was gonna say it could have gone in a more campy way, like a little
mhm.
bit more cheesy and corny and just more B-roll film
Yeah.
kind of thing. But no, it didn't. I think it's a very sophisticated movie.
Yeah.
It's very, very like, okay, it takes itself seriously, but not in a way that you're like annoyed by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not
Um,
like pretentious. Like, okay, dude, like really, like
yeah. Yeah, but you're still kind of like, okay, I understand this movie is not for everyone. Because I'm telling you, the person that I went to go watch it with was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, like
they
hey,
just did not, yeah,
please,
they were just not into it. They were like, nope, I didn't like it. But I was just completely like enthralled by it. I love
yeah.
that movie. The soundtrack was amazing. The dancing was amazing.
The opening scene literally was, I don't know how long it was, but I'm pretty sure they didn't do a cut. But it just makes you want to dance, and like seeing it at the theater, like is perfect. You know, just with that sound and just the visuals alone, like just the opening act, like damn, like that was dope.
You're just kind of like looking at it and you're like, wow, this is actually happening right now. That's how I
Yeah.
felt. I was like, wow, I'm actually watching this right now. Like that's nuts. But it was great. I loved
Like it
it.
put you in a trance and like slowly lured you in more and more. Like
Yeah, it was just wow. It was such a good movie. So I think for me it definitely deserves a spot on my list. I could not
definitely.
put it on my list because I absolutely loved it.
I had to include it in my honorable mentions too. And I'm glad you brought it up because when I was researching for this, I believe they said there was a 42-minute unbroken shot, like just in one take. And I think I know which one because the whole time I was like, dude, I don't know where they cut. Like if they cut, I don't know where they cut, you know? And that was dope. And I think it benefited from having no well-known actors because I think like
Yeah.
they had only like two actors and then the rest were like dancers. So like that's
Mhm.
how it's, you know. So that was I thought that benefited too, you know. It didn't take you out of the story or whatever, you know. And
I thought that was really smart.
yeah, I really like that too. And just again, like you said, just the whole movie, you're just tripping out and you're just kind of guessing like, well, what's gonna happen? How like what's happening, you know? And
You're just straight vibing. You're like,
yeah,
damn. And then things go like kind of dark and you're like, oh shit, this just got dark really quick.
I know it's like damn, like a lot of gnarly stuff starts to happen, and like you're like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
hmm,
It's crazy. It's a crazy movie. Gaspar Noé is an interesting man. Uh,
yeah.
if you've seen any of his other films, you just kind of like feel like, man, this guy is a
Love is
trip.
on my queue on Netflix.
Yeah, that one's pretty crazy too. But going right along to not make this too long. Number
Number six,
6.
right? Okay, cool.
Yes. Number 6, I have Moonlight by Mr.
Um,
Talk about that later.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that later.
I had a feeling. I was like, there's no way that that's not somewhere on his list. And at number 5, we have Midsomar because, of course, I had to put it on the list.
That's when I told you I was like, you know what, Audrey's gonna like 100% sure gonna have this on her list.
And you know what?
Right.
I was debating between putting this one over Moonlight. I was like, which one? I was like, did I really like it better than Moonlight? The only reason that I did was just because I think the more I've thought about it, the more it hit me in a more
Yeah,
personal level as opposed to Moonlight. You know what I mean?
yeah. I get
Because
you.
Midsummer, it was one of those movies that you come out of the theater and you're just like, what?
Like I
Like,
literally just went through that.
yeah, you're just like, what the fuck, you know? And
Yeah,
but now that I've thought about it more and I've done more research on it, it definitely makes more sense. and it hits me on a different level, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that one, I can't really say much about it just because it's more new and I feel like people have seen it. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it and make up your own mind about it. But
Yeah.
but I mean, what can I say about it? It's just a good film that came out. It
Yeah.
was my only gripe with that movie has always been that I thought it was way too long. I thought it could have been cut back at
And then
least.
there's even like a director's cut. I know it's
Which
getting like
I
a.
also went to go see. Jesus Christ.
Oh, did you really? Okay, cool. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
I went to go see that one. But to be honest, I was a little let down just because they don't really show anything different, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that one definitely had to be on my list.
Yeah, and again, just like for me, like thinking about that movie, it was one of my honorable mentions because it's just so well made, and Ari Aster has a very unique, I guess, eye and kind of his style with horror. Because Hereditary too, like, was very different, but at the same time, kind of. Nah, I was gonna say similar to other ones. Like it was very unique. You know, he has a very unique voice in horror. I think so. It's not your traditional one. It's more like psychological, and especially I think in Midsomar,
Yeah.
Midsomar. And just again, that movie, just the opening alone too, is like, damn. So this is what I'm getting into. You know, the thing is very
Yeah.
like disturbing and haunting, and kind of like sets up the whole movie. You know, and I thought that
Yeah.
was well done. And Florence Pugh, obviously, she did a great job. And just like a lot of memes, a lot of things have come from that movie, and rightfully so. I need to watch it again, and I need to watch the director's cut.
I think it definitely spawned something that wasn't there before, you know?
Yeah,
So I think after that, we're going to get a lot of people. I feel like after that, we're going to get a lot of movies that are going to try and replicate it. I don't know why. That's what I think, but we'll see. It's
we'll
at the
see.
bar. It's at the bar for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So moving along with your list.
So it's my 7 through 5, right? Oh man, I can't believe it. This sucks. I hate this. I don't know why we did this, but so coming in at number 7 is the Lighthouse. I don't know.
That's not on my list.
It's not on your list.
It's not. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
I was trying. I was like, fuck. Ben's gonna be pissed because I think that's like one of Ben's favorite movies recently. The only reason why I didn't put it was because once again, this is a personal list. And for me, I feel like The Lighthouse is not a movie that I'll be revisiting anytime soon. Like it's one of those movies that okay, I watched it once.
One and done.
Good. Yeah, like I'm good. Like it's not something that I would just be like, damn, I need to watch this movie again. And I've already seen it twice, but like I'm already like, okay, I'm good. I don't want to watch it anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I didn't put it on my list was just because I don't think it has that rewatchability factor for me that I like. Because I like movies that I can rewatch and revisit. And that one just doesn't have it for me. So
like, hey, like you have some friends over. Let's put on the Lighthouse.
yeah, like okay. You know what I mean? It's just not one of those movies. And a lot of these movies are kind of like that, but for me I can actually go back and rewatch them personally.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See, like for me, I'm like completely opposite. Like I feel like I've already seen it twice and like I wanted to see it again, you know? For me, it wasn't my top 5 of last year, and like I don't know, just whatever Robert Eggers did. Like he again for me, like just Willem Dafoe's monologues alone, you know, like just for me, it's just like, oh my god, I had a hard time picking between who did a better job. Ultimately, I think Dafoe did, but Robert Pattinson just killed it in that movie too. Just a lot of the cinematography was obviously awesome. A lot of choices they did, like it's black and white. It's in that aspect ratio as well, and just like it for me, it kind of felt like what I love from like the Twilight Zone. Like it's a mystery, like what's going on, you know. And then if you look into it a little bit more, it's like okay, like it's kind of like these metaphors and all that stuff. And there's like a bunch of theories about like what's really going on, you know.
Yeah.
But then also it's like a movie that was surprisingly hilarious to me as well. It's like what the hell, like it's just. Like it's not cheesy. It doesn't like, at least for me, it wasn't like cheesy. It takes the movie kind of just a natural comedy, I guess, you know. And it's weird because like if that kind of comedy goes in like another movie, I'm like nah, like that didn't work. But for some reason, they made it work, you know.
Yeah, you
So
were like, I'm down.
yeah, like I was just laughing my ass off, like, and I love that I saw it in that theater with that audience because they were all in it too,
Yeah.
um so I think that made me enjoy the movie a little bit more too, my experience with it in the theaters. But again, just overall, like the direction, the performances, and just like I don't know, I kept thinking about that movie like for weeks and weeks, and like even now, like whenever I think about it, whenever I see like Willem Dafoe or Robert Pattinson, like I think about the Lighthouse, and I'm just like, damn, like thinking about it, saying all this, I kind of want to put it higher, but like, you know what?
You're like, damn, it's your number 7?
Number 7, yeah. But
Okay.
just these other ones, like I can't.
Damn,
But
I'm
yeah.
so curious. You're hyping up your number 1 like a lot, dude.
Uh,
It better be a fucking masterpiece. That's all I'm saying. Just
well,
kidding.
there's movies that we're saving for later for each of us. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
but moving on, I'm at number 6, which I don't think is going to be on your list, is Uncut Gems.
Yeah,
So
no.
that's another movie. Again, it was in my top 5 last year, and again, like I've already watched like 3 times, and that first theater experience was so awesome. Like it was just so like literally I was on the edge of my seat from like beginning to end. I loved Adam Sandler's performance, and I thought the Safdies, like, again, I thought at first initially I said this, I thought they outdid themselves from Good Time. um but yeah, we'll kind of talk about that later.
Yeah.
um I just think that movie again was great. Like it's just literally anxiety like throughout the whole movie. I remember we talked about it, like, and we are joking, like the whole movie they're just arguing. It's just people
It's
arguing.
just people yelling. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just something about that movie. The song at the end too. Gotta
The
mention the song.
soundtrack's great.
Yeah, the score is dope too. And just I don't know, the overall story, I really liked it. I really like got to connect with Howie and stuff. And yeah, I just think overall it's just a great movie. Just like I'll study it.
Wow. All right. Well, honestly, I'm surprised. I thought that was gonna be like your number 2 or 1 even.
Yeah. So the man, like, so for you now, I'm really hyping up the rest.
Yeah. I'm like, damn.
And
Like,
I'm kind of looking at, oh man, like Audrey's just putting a lot of pressure on me.
yep, that's what I'm doing. But no,
But
that's a good pick.
um, coming in number 5 for me, because you already said you're 765, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so number 5 for me is a back-to-back Safdie brothers, and that's Good Time. I don't know if
Yep.
that's on your list.
It's not.
It's not. Okay, so you're not a fan of the Safdies?
I am. I can. Well, I don't. Okay. So I can't say I'm a fan, but I can appreciate what they do because I did watch Good Times and I did watch Uncut Gems, and I enjoyed Good Times. I thought it was good, but it's also once again it's just so like anxiety, and I just can't, like, my little heart's just like ah. And it's funny because I love horror movies, and horror movies give you anxiety, right? But this is a different kind of anxiety. This is like a fuck. Like, what are you gonna do?
You're
You
more.
know?
It's more like you feel claustrophobic. Like everything's like closing in. And you're kind of like like.
I just feel like everyone's yelling, and there's just too much commotion going on, and I'm
Why is
all about
everyone
like,
yelling?
yeah, like I just want to tell people like, can y'all shut up?
Yeah.
It's too much. So I can appreciate what they do. I know that they're good directors. I know that they're capable of producing really good movies, but it's just not like, I wouldn't say it's my cup of tea specifically,
Yeah.
per se. Like, I'm not gonna be like, fuck yeah, Safdie Brothers, you're gonna come out with a new movie, you know?
Yeah.
Which actually, have you seen they have a at the movies, what do you call it? Video on YouTube where you know how Criterion does at the movies with like different directors or actors. I don't know if you've ever seen those.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have one with them, and they really know their shit. Like, they're actually really really knowledgeable about movies, so that's good.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I haven't seen that one, but that's what I heard, that they really love movies, and they just like all sorts of movies too, you know.
Mhm.
And I haven't seen their other shorts. I know Ezra. I asked him the other day, like, hey, like, do they have their stuff online? Some of them are online and stuff. So I really wanted to dive into those, like their earlier works. But Good Time is for me like my introduction to them, and like again, just like Uncut Gems, it's just like a ride, like a roller coaster ride, like from start to finish. And then Robert Pattinson, like he like in every performance I've seen him in, he's like completely different, you know. And
Yeah.
also another movie he was in, actually two from A24, was High Life and The Rover. And again, those he's completely like a different character.
Mm-hmm.
So in Good Time too, I really like obviously his relationship with the brother, which was played by Benny Safdie, one of the Safdie brothers. And he did an incredible job too, like just like the beginning and like the ending, because it's mostly just him. Like it's just really good. But yeah, that movie was just like, again, like a roller coaster ride. Like I was on something, you know. You're just kind of seeing like you
Yeah.
just kind of want to root for the guy because it's his brother. Like he's just trying to do good, but obviously, in a city like New York and like kind of relatable situation. Like we need money and stuff and everything like that. So for me, it's just like one of the films that I put up there because I like it, and also just like technically, I think it's very well made. Like it's like, again, like for me to be introduced to them like that, like damn, like who are these guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't know, like I'm now talking about it, and I want to watch it again,
Yeah.
like right
You
now.
should. I kind of want to watch it again too, just to think about it more. Because I've only seen it one time.
Yeah,
But I know it's on Netflix, I believe.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was.
So I definitely want to revisit it if I have the chance.
Or if not, I can send you the code. I'm just kidding.
John
She
always
said
says that
no.
he'll send me the code and he never sends me shit. So just saying. Just kidding.
All right, Audrey. So now it's time for your three, three and
No,
two, right?
four,
Oh yeah,
three.
4, 3, and 2. Yeah, 4, 3, and 2.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Because I was like, damn, we're going to say number one all alone. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. So for my number 4, I have another one that you mentioned, which was the Florida Project.
Oh shit. See,
I
that one
was
hurt me
like,
too.
fuck. I was like, really? I was like, not even number 10? Not even number 9? Like, shit.
That one hurt me. I gotta be honest. That one hurt me to leave it
That
on
one
the
hurt
honorable
me.
mentions.
That would hurt me just because I think Sean Baker is like one of the best directors that has been up and coming.
Yeah,
He's just amazing. And I'm a big fan of his other movie, Tangerine.
yeah, that one was really, really good as well.
Yeah, but the reason why I picked the Florida Project is because it's just also a movie that struck like something in me that was just like, damn, it was such a real movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
weird to say, but it's just such a raw movie that that shit like that happens. Like it's, and
very good.
the way that he films it, and the fact that he used these like the actors were great. The kid actors did an amazing job.
Yeah.
The girl, I forget her name, but the one that plays the mom, he like got her off of Instagram, and the fact that he did that was just so like brilliant to me because I was like, I mean, who else was gonna be able to play that part? You know what I mean?
But I
It,
think her name is Bria Vinite or something like that.
yeah,
I
she
don't
has
know.
like,
I'm mispronouncing it.
she has like a weird last name. Well, not
And
weird, but
Brooklyn Prince, and obviously the great Willem Dafoe.
yeah, he does an amazing job too. It's just such a good movie. Like rewatching it, I rewatched it also recently, and I won't get tired of it. Like I can rewatch it
Yeah,
endless times, and I just love it because it makes you kind of sad, and then the ending is kind of like
I was about to say,
hopeful.
what do you think about the ending?
The ending's just funny because you're like, oh fuck, you're like, damn, that's what's gonna happen. Um, but it's so great because it's triumphant in a way, and I think it's also I love the fact that the kids' innocence in a way helped them
Yeah.
living like how they live, and I don't know, just a lot of things about it. I thought it was a great movie. So that's why I definitely it's pretty high. It's my number 4. So I really, 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 really love that movie. I think it's great.
Yeah. Not to blame you again. That's the one that hurt me, I think, the most out of
I
my
was
honorable mentions.
like I said, I gotta say I'm pretty like shocked, but I get
That
it
and the
'cause you have
farewell.
other movies. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I get it because you have some really good movies on your list, so it's hard to toss up. But
Yeah.
going on to my number 3, this is also another movie that you have already
Damn, top
mentioned.
3 already.
Top 3. This is where it's at. So number 3, I have Hereditary, which was
Okay, so my
also
number 10. At
oh
least it
no,
was on my list.
dude, it was your number 10. I was like, what?
Hereditary. I know, I
Like
know. Again,
what?
people are probably the same as you. Like, you know what, John? Like,
I mean, okay, I get it because I have actually talked to people that didn't like Hereditary, and I heard their opinions, and they just honestly the mostly the same thing that they always say is just because that it was a slow burn and that it wasn't really scary. And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, for real? Like that part where she's slamming her head on the floor, that's not scary.
Spoilers.
Well, yeah, it's an old movie. If you haven't seen
She's
Hereditary, like,
when
where
she's
the
in
fuck
the
you been?
corner, just like Spider-Man style.
That movie took a turn really quick. Like it's a movie that you're just kind of like moseying along. You know, you're living your life, you're eating your popcorn, and then all of a sudden you're just like, what the fuck? You're like, what just happened?
You feel
And
like the little girl. You're just like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, also spoilers.
I didn't say what happens to her.
Yeah,
Oh, I should have announced other people who hasn't seen it. Like, wait, what happens to her?
something happens. But the movie in itself, I think what he did is he brought back the whole occult thing that I love to movies.
Yeah,
It's been done before, obviously, with like Rosemary's Baby and The Omen, but I just hadn't seen it get done in a while that good. You know what I mean? That
yeah.
sentence sounded weird. But yeah, I hadn't seen a movie like that in a while. And it was just done really, really well. It was really eerie. And I really want to watch it again. I saw
It's a
it
really
last
different
year.
type of horror movie, and that's what I like about it. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. It's more like on the occult side. And
Yeah.
I love movies like that. And sometimes they're done really, really bad. And
Hmm.
sometimes they're done really, really good, which is I think Hereditary is a perfect example. And also the performances, we gotta say,
Tony
were amazing.
Collette, it's fantastic.
Yeah, they were just like great. I can't say anything bad about that movie. The only complaint that I have is maybe the fact that the beginning was a little bit too slow for me, but it made up for it with the second half. Like you're just like, damn. It's like,
Yeah, it definitely picks up in the second act.
yeah, you're like you just don't even see it coming. But yeah, I think that's a great movie, and he definitely did set the tone for other scary movies to come in, that are gonna come out and they're gonna have the same type of premise. But I think he set
Yeah,
the bar
it
pretty good.
definitely. I feel like it's gonna have its influence on up and coming directors, obviously, and just like in general in the industry. Because again, like you said, it's your regular horror movie. It's more in a way, it's a more like psychological too, because it's just like you don't know what's going on and stuff, and just everything they did with the little miniature figures, the transitions as well were very good. It was shot brilliantly. The acting again, all around was phenomenal. And yeah, it's just scary in a different way. It just leaves like you said, Rosemary's Baby. Like as soon as I saw that, because I saw Hereditary first, then I saw Rosemary's Baby, and I'm like, you know what? I can see the influence in this because it's almost like the same type of vibe, you know.
Yeah.
And like obviously what happens at the end is kind of just like, damn, like I thought it was gonna have like some sort of like happy ending, I guess.
Yeah,
But
no.
it's just kind of like left like okay.
You're, you're like, that was weird and
Like I guess
uncomfortable.
it's over now.
You're just kind of like, oh shit. So that's what was happening. Yeah, it's definitely a crazy, crazy ride. And I feel like we've already seen other movies that have tried to do the same thing. Like even with Relic, like the trailer kind of had that feel. I feel like
Yeah.
people are trying, or The Lodge even had that feel too. Like they're trying, but they just don't make the mark.
Yeah,
So
they're not Ari Aster. And
yeah, they
then
kind of do it like him.
also I do have real quick, I do have one of his short films that I still need to watch. And I got it on The Strange Thing About the Johnsons.
Oh my god, why would you want to own that? Jesus Christ.
You seen it already?
Yes, we've talked about this before.
I seen it at a Goodwill in Hollywood, and I was like, Ari Aster, like I really like him. I'll pick it up. I want to see his earlier stuff, so I haven't seen it. So I think I'm in for a treat. I think by your
It's
expression.
fucked. Yeah, I mean, that's coming from me. It's just like, what?
I heard like it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, but have fun with that. So anyways, so we're already at my second. And
Damn.
I think this is going to be a shocker to a lot of people and even to you just because you're like, really? Like what the fuck? But I freaking love this movie. It made my year. It was just great. I loved everything about this movie. And that was mid-90s.
Oh,
Coming in
okay.
hot with Jonah
Yeah.
Hill. Coming in hot. I thought that movie was also spectacular. I think I have a thing for movies that are about like coming of age because if you see a pattern, I see a pattern here. I like
Yeah.
the Florida Project and stuff like that.
But
Um,
I think that's one that we can talk about later on my list
oh,
too.
okay. All right. Well, I was about to go
I
off
know I felt bad because I was like, wait, because it's kind of like a weird position. Like, should we just talk about it now or like,
because it's like
But
kind of up there, but it's not as up there.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
not
I get it.
really too much. But I feel like we should just talk about it when we get to mine, like where it's at in mine.
All right.
Sorry, my bad, Audrey. Sorry to be a buzzkill. I know it looked like you were ready. Like, okay, cool.
I'm just kidding. All
My
right.
bad.
So going along with your list then.
Wait, so recap. What was your
Oh,
5, 4, and 3? Wait, 4, 3, and 2.
4 was the Florida Project, 3 was Hereditary, and 2 was mid-90s.
All right, so now I need to do my 4 and 3 and 2, right?
Yes.
So number 4 is a movie that was like my number 3 last year. And that was The Last Black Man in San Francisco. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's not on your list.
It's not. I haven't seen that one.
So that one for me, I went to go see it with my buddy, our pal Alex. And I literally just fell in love with that movie from like beginning to end. The cinematography is just beautiful. Like every single shot, you literally could just pause and you can you can put it as your wallpaper or something,
Yeah.
Performances again were really great. Just what it has to say, and just I don't know, just something about it. Like I couldn't get out of my head for weeks to come. I just kept thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. I was like, man, I need to own it. So once I bought it, I popped it in again, and just like I was like, you know what, I love this movie. Let me see. I can't. Joel Talbot, I think that's his name, and stars Jimmy Falls and Jonathan Majors, which Jonathan Majors was in The Five Bloods earlier this year with Spike Lee and stuff. So him like really, and also I seen him in Captive State. And I really like have come to like him, and I thought they both did, like the two leads, they did a fantastic job. And yeah, it's just very like, I don't want to say personal, but like something about it just stayed with me, and it continues to stay with me.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I think you should watch it. And I think you'll like it. I think you'll
Yeah.
like it.
That's also one of the ones that got away from me and I didn't have a chance of watching it in the theaters, which I really regret, but I definitely will watch it. I think it's also streaming somewhere, right?
I think so.
Where would I see it? I think it was maybe Hulu. Oh no, I'm getting confused with if wait.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So if you guys have Prime, highly recommend it. Audrey, highly recommend it. A24, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. And just like the story is pretty cool too. Kind of bums you out a bit, but it's really unique.
I definitely will watch it for sure.
So that one came in at my number 4.
Yeah.
And now we can finally talk about mid-90s because that's my number 3.
Yeah,
That was my number 1, I think, when it came out.
Yeah.
It was my favorite film that year. And I think we had that in common. I think so because we both really like. I mean, obviously, your number 2 and my number 3.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I know you were.
No,
waiting.
go ahead.
You're like bursting at the seams. Ladies first.
I was just gonna go off and just say how great it is because obviously, like you said, it was our favorite for a reason, and it took I don't even know what movie dethroned it, but I remember that year I was like hyped on it, and it was just such a good movie. Also super personable. I think a lot of the 90 kids related to it like really, really hard. It was just like a nostalgia trip for me, almost,
soundtrack and stuff.
Yeah, it was just like damn. And like I said, I think Jonah Hill did an amazing job at directing it. The kids were great. All that talent in that movie was also insane. The performances were just out of this world. I really hope that we see them in something else. I wonder if I haven't seen them in anything else, but I really hope we do. Because I thought they all did fantastic.
Yeah. I like Demi. She's like she's done a lot of stuff. Like she was in Waves and she's done some more stuff for A24. And then Sunny Soljic I think that's his name. He was like in another movie, but ever since then he hasn't like done anything. I think he's like a legit. I think they're all like legit skaters.
Yeah. Well, I know one of them. I forget his name. Fuck. Um, but he was like a legit. They're all skaters, but he got like a legit modeling job after. And
Yeah.
he started modeling and shit. So their careers took off, you
Was
know,
it
and
fuck
that's
shit?
great. Yeah. 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 He just had a great look, you know? He had that
Yeah.
typical like surfer kid, skater kid look.
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie was just so good. It was such a feel good movie. You can like relate to it so hard, especially like I said, if you're a 90s kid, you'll understand.
Yeah. I understand, Audrey.
Yeah.
We're both
But
90s kids.
but yeah, so I feel like that movie deserves to be on our list. So
Would
it
you
was
have been
your
mad if I left it out?
I would have been really surprised because like I said, I know you liked it. But I didn't expect it to be so high. I thought it was gonna maybe be like 7 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah. No, I mean for me it's not only personal because like, a nostalgia trip and stuff. The story kind of reminded me of like I guess me and my brother in a sense, and then also like the single mom and stuff like that, So I had a lot of to say that like it when it did say it, like I was like, damn, okay, cool. Like I remember like literally one of the opening scenes when he's like going to his brother's room and stuff like that, looking at all his stuff like that did happen to me too, I
Yeah.
always admired my older brother and like his things and wanted to be like him when I was younger and stuff. Obviously, if you've seen my brother, we it didn't turn out like that, but
Yeah.
I really connected with the story, and I really like what Jonah Hill had to say, and obviously the whole '90s thing, like it was cool. The score for me is like something I revisit often by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross because they did the Social Network one, and I love that movie. They also did Watchmen, the show. So like
Oh, okay.
for me, they're like I just love their work. So and yeah, I'm excited to see what Jonah Hill does next. It's a coming of age movie. It's funny a lot of the situations that he gets put in because he's like a smaller kid, and he's
Mhm.
already doing some things like like it's pretty funny, but also kind of again like relatable, like you said,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, just everything about it. The performances, Catherine Waterstein or Waterspoon, I don't know her name, but she did a pretty
Something
good job.
water.
Mom,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me see, Catherine Waterston. I was way
Water.
off,
You said
but
water.
Waterspoon. Sorry, I knew it started with a W, a water though. Remember, like
You
in Dumb
weren't
and Dumber.
you weren't that off. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I started with an S though.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, so it's personal for me on like so many levels, and I love it. It was my favorite of that year. I think it was 2017 or 18. It was 18, 2018.
I was 18. I was like, it can't be that long.
Yeah,
Wait, was
20.
it?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it came out October 19th,
I'm
2018.
trying to think for real. Damn, that's crazy.
It seems like it was a little bit longer.
That's
Like longer.
nuts. Yeah, no, it seemed like it wasn't that long ago, but damn, that's crazy. Wow. Time goes by fast.
Yeah.
Especially in movie time. I feel like sometimes movies make you feel like time goes by even faster because you look at movies and see their release date and it's like 5 years ago and you're just like, what? I just saw
Yeah.
that like a year ago.
Like
But
you're anticipating it, and next thing you know, you're already in the theater, like going to see it.
yeah, and you're just
That's
like,
the
all
best
right.
feeling. Like, damn, I remember waiting for this movie, and now like I'm literally about to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. I'm like I'm kind of blown away by that. Wow.
Yeah.
So we're already at our number one.
No, I still had to say my number two, and I think
Oh,
this movie was higher on your list too. We're finally gonna talk about it.
which one?
Guess. It's Moonlight.
Oh, Moonlight. Yeah. I was like, damn, you didn't let me wait. I was like, damn, is it? I was like, wait, which one? But yeah, it's Moonlight.
But yeah, Moonlight was my number one on my last top 10 A24 movies, and it's at number two now because of
Wow.
one other film. But I love this movie. Again, to me, it is personal in some ways, but not all the ways. But I just really love what Barry Jenkins did with this movie. All the actors involved, and just the story, and just the cinematography. Again, the score, like everything about it, like for me, like was near perfect, on the technical level, and that's why it's so high up. And also just the story and like the way I can relate to it,
Yeah.
and Yeah, I know that we kind of had a pretty cool story about it because the whole Oscars, remember
Oh yeah,
that whole
that shit was
debacle?
crazy.
That one was pretty cool. Um, yeah, and I remember like recently just saw the video about like my previous list, so like the whole La La Land thing that was funny, and like I was saying how like I was cool, like I was all right, cool. La La Land was a really good movie, and I liked it, but it's like Moonlight, like fuck.
You're
I remember
like,
even us
"What?"
texting about it too. We're like fuck, and then like they got up and said like
Mm.
that was so crazy. That just never happened.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was a nuts moment for the Academy Awards. I was like, what the fuck? It
Yeah,
was crazy. But yeah, Moonlight definitely felt right for Moonlight to win. I mean, don't get me wrong, La La Land was amazing too, but I don't know, it just felt weird. I was like, there's no
yeah.
way. So
Like I was
yeah.
bummed. I was happy for La La Land, but at the same time I was bummed, and like
Well, because you love La La Land as well too.
yeah, it was in my top five. Like that, I love that movie too. But like Moonlight for me, like even though for me La La Land now like might be more personal, but I just like again like just this one for me is like damn, like I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Moonlight was a beautiful movie and it was shot amazingly well. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, obviously there wasn't a lot of aspects that I could say I related to personally, but it was still overall just a beautiful story. And for me to watch it, I was just like, Oy. It was also like hard to watch
Yeah,
for me. It was one of those movies I'm just like, oh, like I don't think I'll revisit it often, but I can definitely say that it was amazing. One of the best
yeah.
movies.
Mahershala Ali came out in it, Naomi Harris, and then Ashton Sanders. I actually saw him at the ArcLight, which was pretty cool. Again, he was in Captive State and with Jonathan Majors, and he was in Moonlight, so it was pretty cool. I felt
Yeah.
like going up to him, but I was like, nah, like he's just trying to watch a movie or something, like
Oh, he wasn't there for like a Q&A or anything. He was just
no, yeah, he was like there just chilling, like because it wasn't like I forgot what I was there to watch, but I was waiting for it, to go in.
oh.
And I saw him
He was
talking
just
to
chilling?
I saw him like come out of somewhere, and then he was talking to one of the ushers, and then like he went back to like his movie or like theater or something.
He was probably like, "Hey, can you guys like tell people to stop bugging me because I'm just trying to watch the movie."
Probably,
Yeah, and they're like, "Okay, okay." That's dope though. You gotta love that about California. You can have the opportunity to just see someone
yeah, like
famous.
you never know, especially like they're like in Amoeba. I think Ezra ran into Chris Nolan in Amoeba. I don't know if that's true, but he stuck to it. He said, "Hey, I did see him.
You're lying.
I swear."
He just saw him browsing.
He just yeah. I think he said he was like one of his kids, and like nobody really like was going up to him. He said,
Well, when you think about it, like if you told me, "Hey, can you pick out Ari Aster or someone like that out of the crowd?" I probably couldn't because I don't
"Yeah."
really know what they look like. I know their name because I hear it when like I see a movie come out or whatever, but I don't actually go to Google and like let me search his image.
Let me
So
see his life story.
so yeah, so like if he passes me by, like I would just be like,
But like someone like Quentin, right? Like if he's better known, like if you
yeah,
see him,
yeah.
oh shit, that's like
Like it would have to be someone that I'm really familiar with, like David Lynch or Tim Burton or what's his name, Steven Spielberg, someone like that has been
yeah,
around that I know. Then yeah, but if it's someone
Marty
kind of like
Scorsese.
low key, I wouldn't. I'd just be like, "Oh." Especially when you're shopping. Like I don't really stare at
But
people.
that's it's like you don't really put that together. Like, okay, I'm gonna see someone famous here. Like
Especially Nolan. Like I would think he'd be. That's crazy. I would have never expected to see him there.
yeah, that's pretty cool. But anyways, so that was my number two, Moonlight, and going back, my number 4 through 2 was Last Black Man in San Francisco, mid '90s, and Moonlight. So now me and Arjun are gonna talk about our number one,
Uh,
which I'm pretty sure it's different, obviously. And if you've been following, there's a movie I haven't talked about that Audrey had on her list. And I think maybe on the same goes for you for your number one.
really?
Yeah, like it's not that we don't have the same one, but it was like up in my list or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
If you don't have this one, I'm gonna be like shocked.
Well, I don't think. Wait, I'm confused because I don't know which one your first one is. Because out of the ones that you've mentioned, I'm kind of like you already mentioned my number one,
Yeah,
and it's a little bit heartbreaking, just because I'm like fuck.
because it
Because it
was
wasn't.
at number 9, I think.
No, it
Yeah,
wasn't even. It wasn't even on your list.
it wasn't on my wait. What? What is your number one?
It wasn't even on your list. It was on your honorable mentions.
No way.
Yeah. That's why I was like,
Nah, it was on my list.
are you
I
sure?
hope. Yeah. What is
Oh,
it?
okay. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm bullshitting. But for my number one, it's The Witch.
Okay, yeah. See, yeah.
Oh,
It
I thought
was
it was
number
in your
9. Yeah.
honorable mentions.
No, it was number 9.
I could have sworn. Oh,
I was
Midsummer.
so scared right now, Audrey. I was like, "What? Like, what do you mean? Like, like, so you don't have the witch
You're
or
like,
like,
what?
yeah?" I was like, "What the hell?" Like, I was like, "The farewell, room, 8th grade."
I was honestly shook because you said Midsummer in your honorable mentions, and I think that's why I was like, "Oh fuck, he has the witch on there too." I don't know,
Yeah.
but I got confused. Anyways, yeah, my number one, yes, witch. Big surprise. I don't think that was a surprise for anyone. Well, maybe not for John, but yeah, for me, it's the witch. Because yeah, that's just one of my favorite. That's just my top favorite A24 movie. I love that
Like,
movie.
that's the pinnacle for you of A24. You think of A24 is The Witch, and I don't blame you. It was in my number 9, and my last list it was number 6, so it went down like 3 spots. But yeah,
Well,
it
is it not the pinnacle of an A24 film? I mean, I feel like that movie when I saw the trailer for it the first time, it
yeah
set the motion of that trailer trend of a very like slow, moody, you know, and that movie just it's they're speaking in like a dialect that you have a hard time deciphering.
like it's English, but it's not.
You're
Kind
just
of like,
like, what?
Lighthouse. That's something I really
Yeah.
liked about the Lighthouse too. That it's like English, but it's like sort of like in a different dialect, and it's like what the hell, like it's so. That's what I'm saying. Like even just his monologues, and even in The Witch, just the way they talk and stuff. It's like damn, like okay, like
You have to use subtitles for sure
yeah,
because if not, you won't understand it. But this movie I actually caught a lot of slack for just because I know a lot of people that don't like it. Like I think I want to say half of the people that I encountered didn't like that movie
yeah.
because they said it wasn't scary and that it was too slow
Oh man,
and that they didn't understand it. And I was like, I mean, I understand that they were probably expecting something else, but I was like, you have to understand that that's not the
that's
thing.
the thing. Yeah,
Like
expectations.
that's not the gist of it. It's not a freaking slasher movie where you're just gonna get scared left and right.
Yeah,
I think the whole story behind it is terrifying. Um, and then when you find out more facts about it, it just makes it more scary. Like the fact that they got those stories from actual books that they found of like back in the day, that
yeah.
shit's scary.
Oh my god,
John, John's
chills.
like, I'm not gonna sleep. And I think also, like I said, the acting was amazing. I love the dad, the mom. What's her name? We just talked about her. Fuck.
The Vivitch. Where is it? So Anna Taylor-Joy, Ralph
Taylor-Joy.
Ineson, Kate Dickey. I think that's the mom.
She
Kate,
comes out in Game of Thrones.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, Kate Dickey. That's her name. She's
Yeah,
the one that breastfeeds in Game of Thrones.
yeah.
But yeah, Anna Taylor-Joy, and then Ralph Ineson or something like that. Robert Eggers obviously in the director's chair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, it was a 4 million budget, and it made 40.4 million. That's pretty good. No wonder.
I would not have expected that movie to take $4 million to make. Just saying, because
Seems
it's
like yeah, like because it's not like it's shot
anything
in the
crazy.
farm. Pretty sure Black Phillip wasn't expensive to rent or like
Yeah, and like they're not wearing anything spectacular.
or
They're like,
Charlie is his real name. In the movie, it's Black Phillip. Charlie.
yeah, he was the comedic effect of the movie. But that
And
movie,
kind of like a new horror icon in a way.
I
At least for
mean,
us.
He was just great. Like, damn, that movie's so good. I love
I
that
love
movie.
their animals.
I know. I love that movie, and I love the score. It's so haunting.
Yes. Again,
And
Robert Eggers knows his stuff.
and for me, that ending is one of the best endings I think of all time. And I can say this without a shadow of a doubt for me, for any horror movie. I think that ending was amazing. Like A1. I was like, I couldn't have thought of a better ending. That ending was just
Yeah.
amazing. I loved it. It was
Very
great.
reminiscent of Hereditary almost.
Yeah, but I think the witch was a little bit more scarier and spooky.
Yeah, definitely.
It was just well, I was blown away. I was like, damn, that shit's good.
Suspense, the thrill, everything about it. Just the atmosphere is very has a very unique, haunting atmosphere. And from even from like you said, the trailer. I remember the trailer very specifically because it's Anna Joy kind of doing this, and then the baby disappears.
Yeah.
You should see rustling in the woods. Like, oh damn! Like just anything that for me that has to deal with like witches, demons, cults, and all that stuff. I don't know why it just gets to me. I think that's why the witch for me like got to me. Like oh shit,
Yeah.
like it was very scary. You have to watch it in the daylight because I can't watch it at night.
Oh fuck. That's one of my favorite movies to watch. It's just it gets under your skin. But definitely amazing movie. One of the best horror movies I think to come in from my time, I could say.
Yeah,
But yeah. I just want to acknowledge really quick because remember I told you he was gonna be pissed.
yeah.
So I hate to break it to you. He might break up with me after this, but
It was
it's
on
not.
her list, man.
Yeah, it wasn't on my list. It was what number was it for you?
For me, it was number 7.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
Yeah, it's in my top 10. Like, what you mean? And last year, it's like my number 5, number 5 or 4 from last year.
But it's not on my list, so I guess that's better.
Ben said this.
Yep. He's like, she's canceled. Nah,
He's
he knows
getting
how
his stuff as we speak.
I know. He knows how I feel about that movie. But yeah, it did not make it on my list. But all right, the Pied Resistance. Oh shit. What's your number one?
My number 1, if you haven't guessed it, Audrey, is Ghost Story.
Wow. That's the one that I was thinking, but I was like, no way.
What was it on your list? It was like number
Number
10.
8. No, it
Number
was
8.
number 8. That's pretty
It's,
up there.
it's very interesting to see like how like some of mine like lore films were your higher films, and the same goes for you.
Yeah. And
It's like
you know what?
I
I
don't
honestly
even know.
and you know what? I honestly was gonna put a ghost story higher up.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't was just because I felt like it was a little bit dated. But thinking about it now, I mean, that movie's great. But go on. I don't want to take this. This is your moment. This is your number.
No. No, well, again, like this movie, like my list was based on okay, like not only like personal movies like that hit me in a certain way or whatever, but also like technically, like how I thought was like damn, like okay, this like Moonlight, right? But for our number 1, this is like my personal list. So for me, that one just the trailer alone had me so excited for the film. And when I first saw it, I was just blown away. Like I needed to watch it again. Like I didn't do a review for it until I watched it again for the second time. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I need to analyze this movie. What does it mean? Because it does have like, obviously it's not like my favorite film of all time. It's probably up there, but from A24, that's my favorite. But it does have this one like scene where I think I could have done without, where it like literally kind of explains to you what's it about.
I need to watch that movie again. Damn.
But other than that, I just thought the performances was great. Just the way it was shot, the score, the obviously the song, and just everything. And again, just the way it's like personal to me. Like it just hit me in some sort of way. And it just stayed with me ever since. And like it was for a long time, for 2017, it was my favorite film. And then I would go back and forth with Logan in that one, and then and if you still ask me till today, like I don't know.
You're like,
Which one I like better. I think I might give it to a Ghost Story because at the end of the day, Logan is Logan,
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
No,
know.
I completely agree. I think that movie actually, I could say, encompasses A24. That's like the quintessential A24 film.
Yeah.
When I think of A24, I think of that movie.
A ghost story. Like I want to get that ghost in the sheet tatted on me.
Yeah. No, it's a great movie. I want to watch it again. I haven't seen it recently, but I completely agree. That movie also hits me on a personal level because when that movie came out, I was going through a tough time in personal regard. So it just hit me like extra hard. I
Yeah.
remember I was like, damn, this movie's coming out to get me. So now every time I think about that movie, it takes me right back to that
Yeah.
time. And it's just kind of like, whoa. Um, but that just shows you that it was a very powerful movie, I think. And the performances, like you said, were great. I love Rooney Mara. She's like one of my favorites. And Casey Affleck did good, even though he's not really
It's
there.
just a ghost in the sheet, kind of.
Yeah, and a lot of people
Sort of.
were confused. People were confused because it's like, well, it was a little too literal. Like, why is he just walking around like that? You know? But we
Yeah.
can get into that. It's a review. But I thought it worked. I thought it did really well. I loved the look of it. Everything was great. So yeah, but I am surprised that that's your number one. I gotta say,
Yeah.
I am very surprised. I was definitely expecting for it to be Moonlight.
Yeah. No, I mean, I did have kind of a like a little battle, but overall, I was like, you know what, this is my list. It's personal to me, so I had to put it above Moonlight. Just what it has to say, about like your place in the universe and life, and kind of the passage of time and all that stuff. Kind of like just certain thoughts that I was having, and they kind of put it in perspective and kind of made me think more about it and stuff. And that's what I love about movies. When it hits me like that, I was like, okay, like this movie is like this dope.
It's gonna stay your favorite for a long time.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I mean, all these movies again. Like I love all those movies on my top 10 list. Like
Yeah.
and hold up. Okay, I do own all of them. I was like, I better own all of them. I do own all of them, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That means that you really, really do love them.
Yep.
I need to work on that.
That's-
Yeah, I'm behind on my movie purchasing, but yeah.
Oh, it's because my budget for movies a month is like $500.
What?
So, no, I'm just kidding.
I was
Like,
like,
dude, your rent isn't even that high.
I
Like,
know. I was like, that's how much I pay for rent. Jesus Christ. That's nuts. But anyways, so yeah, that's our list. Should we go through them again really quick?
yeah, you wanna go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. So my number 10 was The End of the Tour. Number 9, I have Green Room. Number 8, I have A Ghost Story.
How
7,
dare you.
I have Climax. 6, I have Moonlight. 5, I have Midsomar. 4, I have The Florida Project. 3, I have Hereditary. 2, Mid-90s. And 1, The Witch.
Wait. Mid-90s. Then where's the witch? Okay.
Number 1.
Right here, number 1. Okay, cool. So my top 10 was number 10, Hereditary. Number 9, The Witch. Number 8, Waves. Number 7, The Lighthouse. Number 6, Uncut Gems. Number 5, A Good Time. Number 4, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Number 3, Mid-90s. Number 2, Moonlight. And number 1, A Ghost Story.
That's so funny because our top 10 is completely flipped. Like you have Hereditary and The Witch pretty low, and I have them pretty high.
Yeah.
That's really, really interesting. Wow.
I know that's why I was like, wait, like, because there's a lot of movies like, wait, we'll talk about them later, and then you two like, wait, like,
I was
so
like,
pretty
what?
cool. Yeah, we didn't do that. We didn't plan this.
Yeah, no, this is exactly what our lists are. But I look forward to not doing that again because I hate making lists.
And we were just wondering, like, okay, should we just do a list, like overall? Hey, no specific order, but to torture ourselves a little bit more, we said, hey, we got to do a ranking of it. Like, you have to do like number like 10 through 1. But yeah, I mean, this was fun, but at the same time, like heartbreaking.
Yeah, you're
Like,
just
choosing between like children that we love and stuff like that. But yeah, let us know in the comment section down below, what you think about our list. Let us know your list, your top 10. Let us know some movies you want to see. Like for me, real quick, we're wrapping this up. Enemies, one I told you I wanted to see, and I kind of laughed at myself too, because back then in 2017, that's one I still wanted to watch, and to this day I haven't seen it. It's like,
Just
come on,
watch it.
man. Like, yeah, I gotta just put it on probably tonight. American Honey, 20th Century Woman. I know you like that one.
Mm-hmm.
First Reform, Gloria Bell, and so on and so forth. There's like others and stuff, but yeah.
I want to watch. I still wanted to watch Gloria Bell. That's one I haven't seen it. Gloria,
Oh,
I'm
I
gonna.
thought you've seen that one. For
I
some
have.
reason, I'm like, oh, Audrey's seen it already. But really, guys, I'm just kidding. That's not my number one. My number one was Woodstock.
Oh my god.
That
We.
one is an A24 film that me and Audrey have a story because we almost died.
Yeah, and it's probably the one A24 film that we can both agree on. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah, that
we
wasn't it,
did
Chief.
not that we just did not fuck with it at all. But yeah, for sure. And then it's funny because Ben actually, I think to be funny, said first cow best movie, and I was kind of considering putting it on my list because I was like, I really like that movie.
Yeah,
But
it was on my honorable mentions.
yeah,
I think it's because if you're going off a list, you have to make it personal. If that's what you're going for, but also like for me, First Cow is very recent, and like I haven't watched it multiple times, you know. But yeah, like I said, like Lady Bird
oh
is
yeah,
another movie. The Disaster Artist, Slice, The Souvenir. For me, Low Tide, Laggies, While We Were Young, Ex Machina. A lot of people are probably going to be like, "What the hell?" The Lobster, Free Fire. Yeah, While We Were Young, Tusk is another one.
I actually really enjoy while we were young.
Yeah, I think it's Noah Baumbach, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Nah, I'm not convinced.
it is him.
If it is, I owe you $5. I owe you $5.
If
Damn, I
it
didn't trust
is,
my co-host.
so you're gonna rent me a movie. That's what you're saying.
Fine,
Fine,
fine.
fine, all right. But
$5. If it's $5.99, I can't do it. It has to be $4.99 or $5.
no, it has to be if it's like $6.99. You have to say it.
No. I said five.
There's no such thing as a rental for $5. But
Yeah, there is. No, okay, whatever. Just let me know.
Ben said I was lying. I didn't like the first cow that much. Well, alrighty then.
All right, well, yeah, I guess that wraps it up. This was a lot of fun. You know, all jokes aside, it was a lot of fun talking about A24, and I guess we did it kind of in honor of First Cow because like we were supposed to do this for that video, but then it was going to be like 5 hours long. You know, so we were kind of saying, hey, like this is a cool idea. We wanted to do it, kind of like the discussion videos we were doing in the beginning. So it's pretty cool. We should probably look into that, Audrey. Like, no jokes aside, we should probably look into like the older discussion videos, what we think about it now, because like the streaming landscape has changed, and like you know a lot of other stuff has changed. But yeah, anything else you gotta say?
No, just thanks for joining us, folks. Let us know what you think of our list. Do you think that it was good? Do you think it was bad? Do you think we're full of shit? We just would like to hear your thoughts and let us know your favorite A24 film.
Let us know your list too. That's gonna be a lot of that's gonna be interesting to see everybody's favorites because A24 again, like me, I just seen 40 out of their like 100 films they have and something. So it's very, you know, there's still a lot of movies that I haven't seen from them, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we have a lot to catch up on.
But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.